We got a radio icon joining us here this afternoon.
Yes, so Scott Ferrall is going to join us right now. A lot to talk about. Let's bring him in now. Scott, how are you?
What's happening, fellas?
Great to see you, Scott. How you doing today?
I'm doing good and getting better.
That's good. So I guess we'll start here because we've had a few people on. You were the last show on CBS Sports Radio, Infinity Sports Network. We had Shep on a few weeks ago also. Right. Thoughts on the ending of the network?
Well, I thought it was cool that they asked me to do it. I did the first show on CBS Sports Radio when it started, and then they asked me to do the last show, and I wanted to do it with Shep. Shep's my guy. I gave birth to Shep. He's one of many young guys that have worked for me over the years that have become very successful, which I'm proud of. It was a breeding ground for talent based on, the shows that I've done. Shep started with me at the Howard Stern channels on Howard 101, and he was an intern and he was very young. I've known him about, I think, 19 years now, something like that. And he's, obviously taken advantage of his opportunity and he's run with it. And, when I first met him, he was kind of I always said noodle to the fridge kind of guy. He would say anything to see if it would stick and get people fired up. And he was really good at it. I thought Sizzle, Rasan Rogers, who does the Sternthology on the Stern channels, he was another one of my guys that, they wouldn't give him a penny to work there. And so I gave him a gig and I said, listen, what we're going to do is, because I really like the guy and, I balled with him a lot. He's a great basketball player, Rasan. And so Shep. I don't know if you knew this or not. He played at Bucknell. He's got game, but he never plays, right? So he's really a pussy when it comes to, I play every day of my life. I'm enormous. I'm 6'4", 240, and I can score from anywhere. And I'm very physical, and I go to the 10, and I'll foul the shit out of you. I'll rebound. I'll run. I'll finish. I'll shoot, I'll pass. I can do it all. I played my whole life. And both of those guys could ball. Rasan was 6'5", stretch, brother that could dunk and played a lot. In my view, he was a guy that he was so talented playing that he was like Kobe to me. I'd play with him on weekends. He'd come out and play with me where I play. And I played with, back then I played with some decent players. Now I play with all these retired pros and D1 stars, D2 stars that all were legends in college and pro basketball that played. Andre Barrett's a point guard. He played at Rice High School in New York City. He's a point guard, one of the best ever in New York. He played at Seton Hall, played in the NBA. He plays with me. I played with him this morning. So those two guys played ball with me a lot. I didn't really give a shit about him other than that. I wanted them to both get on the air with me and be something. I wanted Shep to be that guy that pissed everybody off. And I wanted Rasan to be that brother that pissed off all the white people. He could get white people so mad, it was the greatest thing you ever heard in your life. Every night he just upset white people. And it just was just automatic money for me. I was like, this is fantastic. And then I'm playing all the music, and I had Lou and Mafia in the room. So if you look at all of them, they've become very successful. Lou runs a huge podcasting network. Mafia is probably the best director I ever knew, producer I ever knew. He does a MMA show now or something. I always thought he was just brilliant at directing and producing. I used to tell him, I go, I don't think you're that entertaining. I think you're my good friend and the best producer I've ever had. He's obsessed with making it in broadcasting. So I respect that. I want him to do that if that's what he wants. But he's one of these guys, he could work at NBC. He could work at ABC. He could work at CBS. He could work anywhere in television and be the best director and producer in the room. So every guy, I've had a million guys become successful. Shep has turned it into NBA radio on Sirius XM. He's working for my old boss, Eric Spitz. He's, done really well. They fired everybody at the network. I think the guy that made that move is a penis. And I think that he's a cheap motherfucker. Can you say that on the show? No?
Yes,
anyway,
you're good.
I hate him dead. I think the guy's a jerk, and I'm gonna hate him forever. I just want to be clear. There's not gonna be like a month or like a 6-month window or a year or like a 5. People say, "What are you gonna do in 5 years?" No, I'm gonna hate him ever because like what he did was he did what they do in radio now. They hire cheap ass talent that's young that they don't want to pay. They call them rising stars, which means someday in 10 years we might pay you, but we never really will because we're going to fuck you over too. So I've seen all the tricks in radio from like penis bosses and penis program directors and, dickhead losers that think they know more than me about entertaining people. And I can tell you that, here's the reason I don't do it anymore. So I've always said, I tell the truth. All these other guys so everyone at WFAN said they were replaced, or some people call them departed. I call them fired. Where I come from, I'm from the side of the river where when your show ends, you're fired, you fucking tool. And so every show I ever had, I got fired, right? So I've been fired like 20 times. I've been on the air for 41 years, 35 nationally. I'm really fucking good at doing this and entertaining people. In fact, I'm a badass, but I'm so sick and tired of working for, how should I say it, cunts, that I won't do it anymore. I refuse. People have been offering me jobs, and I don't want any of them. I don't want to work for you because you're a cunt. And I know that you're going to fuck up my show like everyone else has. Every show I ever did, they fucked up. I mean, every single one of them. Howard had Bubba and Ferrall. He fucked that up. He didn't do it. The suits at Sirius did it. And I'm on Sirius XM now, the app, with Ferrall and The Prophet show. So I'm still in bed with these people. And I think they're great people, but they still fucked up that channel, right? They fucked it up. I was at CBS Sports Radio. They fucked that up. Then they had me come back, do the last show. I did it with Shep, and it went by real fast because, I'm entertaining as fuck, and it just flew by like it was like doing drugs. When you're doing drugs, the drugs dissipate real quick, and then you run out, then you got to go get more. That kind of thing. Show was over real fast, like we ran out of drugs. And, or, you run out of pussy. If you got hot chicks at the party and they all leave, then the party's over, right? And then you got to find fresh recruits. So I think Shep's going to do great on Sirius XM NBA radio. Here's the thing, though. Let's go back to him being a pussy. He is the biggest pussy I ever met in my life because he never plays ball. And he talks shit about, like, that he can stop me. Are you fucking kidding me? He's how should I put it, midget. He's 5'3". I'm 6'4". This guy couldn't stop me if I was chained to a fucking door in a prison. Like if they chained me with like handcuffs to the fucking prison door, I'd still score with my left hand. And then Sizzle could actually do it because he's 6'5" and can dunk and can jump out of the gym. So I used to be able to dunk when I was, I'm 61 in July. So I'm still playing and I play with great players and I'm still really good, but I can't dunk anymore. When I was 20 till 40, I could still dunk because I weighed around 180 to 190. Now I'm 240. I'm a fat ass, but I'm still in great shape. Like I have no real fat on me other than dinner gut. I have like a liquor dinner gut. I'll show you. Like it's kind of like, I got like right there. I got like a liquor. It's a liquor dinner gut. Like I eat everything I fucking see. It's a seafood diet. People go, hey, if you watched your diet, fuck off. I don't watch any diet. I eat everything I see. When I eat a bag of Doritos, I eat the fucking entire bag. When I eat popcorn, there's white cheddar, I eat the whole fucking bag. Pussy ass eating 5 or 10 chips and you run some kind of fucking diet. I eat the whole goddamn thing. Now, so he never plays ball. So you cannot talk shit about how great you are and how you have handle and a great explosive step, which he has. But when you never play and you think you're going to come around into the hood where I fucking play with the superstars I play with, they will humiliate your shit. I played with a 7-footer yesterday morning. He scored so many times that I started making phone calls going up and down the court to like handle my shit I had to do that day because I knew I wasn't getting the ball. This guy dunks from everywhere. He's 7 foot tall. There's no little fucking midget 5'3" motherfucker coming in to do anything against this dude. All right, so he doesn't matter anymore. Now, Sizzle, his problem is he started running like some kind of fag out in LA. He's running fucking in some runner club. Like, I'm like, what do you do, man? He goes, yeah, we run. I go, what? You run? You go running? No one fucking runs. Okay, I play basketball. I don't run. I don't go on runs. I don't jog. Okay, when I train, I run sprints and suicides so that I can keep up with these dudes that I play with now that are 10 times better than me and that light me up. And if I don't keep up, they'll start calling you a pussy and they won't let you play. Right? You either can play or you're not playing. So that's kind of the story. It took a long time, but I circled the wagons with Shep and with Rasan. All the guys that ever worked for me in radio, I've even said this story really quick. Even guys that hate me dead that I fired, I still like them too because they had something in them, the balls to call me a cocksucker. I thought that was, fantastic. And then, when I asked them if they wanted to fight because I'd be into that too, that a couple of them actually went the distance and tried to fight me. And then I would fight them and there'd be hands thrown. And I like guys like that actually, call you names and then back it up with throwing hands and then try to tackle you or something. But like I said, tackling me is problematic because I'm enormous. So, I'm like a tight end in the NFL. I mean, think about it. How many guys in the NFL are like 6'4", 240? That's tight end size. So when you tackle me, you fucking feel me, okay? And then when I land on your fucking head, then it all starts fucking happening. So I've had a couple guys want to kill me, but for the most part, I'd say 90% of the guys have been successful that have worked around me in the business. And then there's 10% that want me dead. Now, Bob Knight had 100% graduation rate. And anyone that ever played for him, there's only about 2 or 3 stragglers that fucking hate him dead. And then like 99.9% of the people that work for him, including me, I loved him till the day he died. So I'm not in that realm. I'm about 10% short. I got at least 10% of the people want me dead.
Jeez. With that, Scott, though, you've been you long pioneered gambling talk for sports for decades, long before it became legal in states. And I always make the joke, though, Scott, because I live in California. You say the word gambling out here, it's like a death sentence out here where I live in San Diego. But Scott, what is your honest take, though, on the rise of the what they're calling prediction markets? I mean, we're talking Kalshi or Poly Market. Are they simply another sports book with a fancy name, or are they perhaps the future of how fans will actually engage with what they're calling sports truth, though, in your opinion? Though, where are you standing, though, about Kalshi and Poly Market, especially with the rise of DraftKings and FanDuel?
Yeah, I don't. Well, first of all, my son goes to San Diego State, right? So he's a junior at San Diego State. And he's got a really good bookie like everyone else out there does. So here's to the feds and the local and state popo who can't catch anyone gambling out in California with all the fucking problems they have. I lived in Huntington Beach for 12 years. I lived in San Francisco. I did my show in LA all those years. My son goes to San Diego State. He gets the best buds. He gets the best pussy. And he has a good bookie so that he can bet every day on everything, right? Like, so I don't know other than knowing about it. Like, I know all about it and I know what they're doing and I know they upset everyone, these prediction markets. They're talking about, like, I read an article yesterday about how they're, doing the announcer prediction market now, what they're going to say in the broadcast booth. And they predict everything now. We used to call that in Vegas, when the husband and wife went into the header together, we used to bet on who would come out first, right? Or, the wife or the husband. And it was the same thing, the prediction market. So I know that it's enormous and it's obviously growing And it's obviously gotten under the skin of all the houses because now they're fucking doing it. They've created their own prediction markets at these sports books, and they won't even name it. They won't even give it a name because they don't want anyone to know that what they're up to no good, because they love to, couple things, take your money and then make you a gambling addict. They always play this card that and I know all of them. I know every one of them. There is nothing they want more than for you to have a gambling problem and lose everything you have, including your house and family. They don't give a shit about anybody. All they want is your money. The third thing is the amount of painful advertisements, like Kevin Hart. I used to like Kevin Hart. Now I don't care if he dies because I'm so sick and fucking tired of that guy with his goddamn gambling commercials and LeBron James and John Hamm. John Hamm is great on The Perfect Neighbor or whatever the fuck it's called. That's a great show. But when he's trying to convince me that euphoria is inside of a casino and that's the place you go when you die, you end up in a fucking casino, and that it's just the greatest place on earth. It's extravagant. It's fantastic. It's just the most, unveiling of happiness in your life being in a casino. Who the fuck are you kidding? A casino is the bane of your existence. It's your undoing. They're going to take your money one way or the other, whether it's gambling, whether it's drinking, whether it's whores. They're all in there. You can get any kind of disease you want at the casino. So, fuck the prediction markets, fuck the casinos, fuck the sports books. They're the enemy. I'm on the side of, so I have a, betting service.
Yes.
Profitable.tv. Our goal is to do the sports books in the ass on a daily basis. My goal. And then when you start winning, they put limits on you. They are the shiftiest, dirtiest, worst people on earth. And you know what's great is that I had to do shows for years where I sucked their dick. And now all I do is talk shit about them because they're all a bunch of fucking evil, filthy cocksuckers. And I can't stand them dead. I hope they all die. Now, I had a friend that used to run one of the biggest houses in the country. He left to run, the ponies in Australia. And he was a legend in the States running sports books, enormous ones. And he left to run the pony business down under, right? He left too because it's so dirty. I know that horse racing is just as bad, but at least he's home. He's from Australia, and he's the boss. So he got a powerful job. I have another friend that works for one of the big houses, and he's a VIP host, and he's a great kid, and he was a great basketball player, D1 player, and now he's a host for one of the big houses, and he makes a lot of money, and he does really well, and he's living the high life, and he's got it all. Those are the only two friends that I have in the sports book business. Everyone else, I hate dead. I can't stand them. They're not fooling me. And anyone that's fooled by their bullshit. Oh, here, let me see if I can land a 5-leg parlay on a same game parlay. Yeah, the odds of you knocking all 5 legs of that off are, Sydney Sweeney's going to come over and fuck me in about an hour right now at my house. And fuck me from running errands. Shut the fuck up. I tell this guy all the time I play basketball. He's like, man, I got a 3-teamer tonight. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You're not hitting any 3-team. I guarantee you lose one of them. They'll do anything to fuck you, those sports books. They, not only that, they steal your money. If you are dormant on an account, they steal the money. They steal your money. They just stole my money in Vegas at William Hill, stole my money because I live in New York City. And I'm not in Vegas betting enough for them, so they stole my money. So I wrote them a nice letter to shove it up their asshole through their fucking throat and taste real shitty when it comes out. The guy that ran Caesars, I told him we were friends for 30 years. I go, I don't fucking like you anymore either, motherfucker. And if I ever see you, I'm going to beat your ass. This is what you guys have ever fucking done, by the way. This show will go down in history on the press row.
It is going to, yes.
It definitely will. Scott, I want to ask you about something you said about fake betting content creators. Because we see them everywhere on Twitter, Instagram. You see these accounts that say, oh, I know the bets. I know the best and handicapping.
I never get a bet wrong.
I've seen your success rate. I think I've heard you say what? You said 70%? I've
had seasons of that success. in the NFL. I had a 72% season in the NFL, and I literally slept with KY because I jerked off so much. I had that kind of a season. But I have had all kinds of losing seasons. I've had all kinds of losing days. I've had all kinds of losing months. I lose bets left and right. The difference is I'm real transparent about it. When I bend over, I show everybody me getting it hard in the ass when I'm losing bets. Like North Carolina the other night, up 30 with 7 minutes to go, and they win by 10. When they rolled out their fucking bitch squad, the girl team, to try to finish Syracuse off, and they gave up 20 points. I lose bets all the time. I lost a bet last night by a hook, and there's nothing you can do. I lose bets left and right. And the thing is, I admit it, and I think that's what fans and customers of mine, they appreciate. And I think that my 35 years of doing it and the success that I've had and the amount of bets that I hit, like, so when I go on the air, I do this show at night on X Spaces, and I go on at 6:30 East, and what I do is I hit every game on the board, and I give them free. And then, like the other night, I hit 11 of 16 NHL bets. I hit tons of college basketball games, NBA games, and I do them all free. I'm not trying to rip anybody off. My company, Profitable.tv, has 5 pay picks that we offer. We have different pay packages, and we're not trying to do anybody. We're trying to hit every bet. We're trying to win. I get blamed for everything. Dak throws 3 fucking picks in a game and doesn't cover. It's my fucking fault. I get death threats. I get everything.
Oh my God.
The team loses in overtime in hockey. It's my fault that I wasn't standing in the crease knocking some guy on his ass. So what I try to do is I try to do my best, and I've done very well betting. I'm really good at it, and then I am really bad at it when I'm bad. Like, I hit 12 elite plays in a row, and everyone was, knobbing me, and I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread. Then I get 10 straight wrong, and I got people outside my crib in Hell's Kitchen with guns shooting at me. Like, I mean, honestly, I used to leave CBS at night. I swear to God, this is great. I used to leave CBS at night. I had so many death threats that the cyber crimes of the NYPD, I'm top 5 all time. So's Howard. And I used to leave the building at night to get in my car, which I parked across from the building, and I'd look left, I'd look right, and then I'd run. And I'm not kidding. Like, it's no joke. I've been attacked. I've been sucker punched. I've been threatened. I've been everything. Everything has happened to me. I've been in all kinds of brawls. People come out of nowhere, sneak up on me. Like, I used to walk into, the Howard Stern building on 48th and 6th in Manhattan. I'd have some dude tackle me on the fucking sidewalk going up 48th, trying to beat the shit out of me. I've had everything happen because of betting. Betting is very dangerous business. There's no doubt about it. And, usually, like in California, right, you got to have a bookie. So guess who runs all that? The underworld, the fucking scum of the earth. They run that. And then in New York, they're even worse. Those are their fucking cousins and uncles running it. And it's just all a bunch of losers and dickheads. But listen, I love betting on sports. I love watching sports, and I've been doing it. So I started doing nationally sports betting on Westwood One in the 90s. So it was like 94, I started doing it. I think I was in San Francisco doing Sports Channel America and KMBR. I started giving out spreads and money lines and totals and reverses and stuff. And then I kept doing it on the national Ferrall and Event show through 2000 or 99 when I went to do NHL play-by-play in Atlanta for the Thrashers. And then when I went back to doing shows, I kept doing it. And then in 2012 or in 2006, when I went with Howard to the Stern channels, I started FerrallandEvents.com and started selling them. I always did them free my whole life, but I'm sitting there watching this guy make $100 million a year, and I'm over here fucking eating rice. I'm like, holy shit. And they paid me well, I'll give you that. But when I see a guy making $100 million, I'm like, I got to have a side hustle. So I started selling them, and it was a huge business. I'll tell you, I made a ton of money doing it. But the problem was when they legalized it, it tanked. And now I've built it back up to, a few thousand customers that are on my Profitable.tv because I'm good at it. That's why they're there. And they know that they can, over the month, invest and make way more at the end of the month than at the beginning of the month. So I've done well, but it's a tough business to succeed in based on everyone thinks now with their phone that they're a handicapper, even bitches. I got like chicks that think they can fucking lay down some fucking wood on a game. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. And I'm just like, just stop it, and everyone thinks they can bat. And I'll tell you what, people that think they can bat are the ones that lose the most,
All
like
the time.
at least I admit, like, it's a brutal, nasty, hard business. And it really is. It boils down to math and really, it's like I say to people all the time. People are like, well, my son will call me. He'll go, I don't like the line movement. I'm like, listen, you either have fucking nuts enough to pick a side and lay the wood or fucking don't get involved. I don't care what the fucking spread is. People are like, it went from 1.5 to 2.5. I'm like, fuck off. I need to win the game by 2. Eat a dick. I laid 1.5, So it's, you have to have balls and you have to, not worry about, losing, because you will lose. And then all the people on TV and radio that talk about how wonderful they are at it, they're all a bunch of fucking liars. I worked on that pancake griddle. I've never worked with so many goddamn liars in my life. Not one guy ever lost a bet, ever. Meanwhile, I'm over there fucking vomiting in the men's room. I lost fucking $2,000. I'm fucking puking in the men's room. And I'm like, so I was friends, I was friends with all the colleagues there, and I got along with everybody, even though they were all a bunch of fucking prick liars.
Wow.
Like, I tell it like it is. Like, I'm over here. I just lost $2,000. I'm at the bar fucking cussing and drinking shots. I'm so mad because I've lost money. Like, I won't sleep over it. Like, games, when I go to bed, I can't watch sports because I get up at 5 a.m. to ball, right? So if there's a game on, like the Penguins were on the Islanders last night, I gave up on it at 9 because I'm going to bed, getting up at 5 a.m. and playing for 90 minutes against badasses. I got no time to not sleep. You show up on like 3 hours sleep at this place, some guy will have his nuts in your face. He'll be hanging on the rim doing fucking pull-ups on your fucking face with his nutsack. So I sleep, and I can't have sports on the TV because and Callan looks like he's about ready to have a fucking stroke having me on this show. I just
this
but
is tremendous.
I cannot watch sports in bed because I won't be able to sleep. I'll eat a lorazepam because I had open heart surgery, everything else. I have to take pills to sleep. I have to take pills after dinner. I have to take pills in the morning, all this other shit to, I guess, live. And I'll stay right up on lorazepam. I'll have 2 milligrams in me, knock over a fucking horse. Meanwhile, if I got a game on with money on the line, I won't sleep. I'll be there with one eye open, sleeping with one eye open, clutching your pillow tight.
I just want to follow up on one more thing before we run out of time. I just want to understand the timeline, because you were with Stern. How long were you with Stern for?
I was there 9 years, and I was at CBS Sports Radio 9 years. And then before that, I was at Fox Sports Radio doing shows in New York when Howard hired me and brought me with him to Sirius. So when he started on Sirius, he brought me with him. I was at CBS for like 21 years, basically. I got a pension out of those people, thank God. And I was in the union, SAG-AFTRA. You have to be in New York to do shows and to be in the newsroom or be on the mic. And so that's why I went back there. When Howard changed the channels to make it more about him, which I would have done too, I went back to CBS Sports Radio. They wanted to move me to like Mad Dog Radio or something. I couldn't really take orders from him. Just like I told you, I'm not really good with listening to people tell me how to do a show or what to talk about or what to say, because, I've been doing it nationally for so long, 35 years. And I was on in every city in the country. I'm on every great radio station, the biggest radio station in the history of rock and sports. And you want to give me fucking advice? How about I give you some fucking advice? Shut the fuck up and go have a sandwich. How's that for fucking advice? And put some mayonnaise on it so it gets on your fucking lip when you're eating. I don't listen really well to people that have bad ideas. I listen to people that are creative, that are artists, that are smart, that know how to make things better and make a show bigger and better. And I like good ideas. And when I work with really every radio and TV person I've worked with, at the end of the day, it's penis central. I said this earlier to you, they fucked up every show I ever did. So now, let's see, when I went national in Vegas in 93 at Sports Entertainment Network with John Renshaw and Papa Joe Chevalier, then I went to CNN. I was number one in Atlanta. Then I went to San Francisco. I was number one on KMBR, and I did Sports Channel America everywhere syndicated. Then Mel Karmazin hired me. I went to LA. I did Ferrall and The Prophet on Westwood One, CBS Infinity, and I was the home base was allegedly WFAN New York. I had people say, you're not good enough to be on WFAN New York, except I was on it for fucking 6 years, and I was number one in 18 to 34 for 6 years. That's why they hired me, to be 18-34, to be the king of young people digging radio and Generation X. And then I went to the Thrashers, and then after that I did Sports Fan. That went bankrupt, and I did the last show on that network. And then eventually I made it back to WFAN, and then I did ESPN in New York. I did nights. I got them their only ratings they've ever had. Now they're like fucking Sissyville. They get like no ratings. They're fucking. They went from being huge to being. I mean, they're like ants now. They're like fucking red ants. And then I went to Morning Drive NEW New York. Like those were all the stops. And then eventually Howard hired me. I did Miami mornings. I was number one in Miami. I lived in Miami my whole life. That's why I'm a Canes fan. I had a place in Miami my whole life. And I went down there to do mornings with Neil Rogers. We got a 20 share. It was the greatest shows I ever did in my life. The funniest guy ever. He made fun of everyone. He's the funniest guy I ever worked for. Howard's the best. Neil's the funniest. Those were my two favorite people that I ever worked with in the business. And then when I left there, I got fired for saying Howard David's wife had a dank box. Then the FCC sued me. I beat him in court. And then when I went out of the courtroom, I did a little fucking Miami cane dance. I did a little fucking dance. I looked over at the feds and the fucking lawyers, and I said, how's my dick taste? And then I ended up on the Howard Stern channels, where I should have been always, because I'm so heinous and horrible and awful and filthy and disgusting and kick ass.
So would you have stayed at Howard if you're saying the suits wouldn't have gotten in the way?
Yeah.
Like there would have been no CBS Sports Radio or
I would have stayed there until I was dead, because that's how much fun I had. We could have burned fetuses on the air and got away with it. Honestly, we did whatever we wanted. I had porn stars come in one night and blow my entire staff live on the air until they all shot their loads, and it was fucking the greatest show ever. I was a horrible human being. I used to go to my kids' sporting events, and people would say, he's the devil. They shouldn't allow him. Those children should be kicked out of this school. His wife is a whore, slut.
Oh, geez.
Because of the show I did on the Howard Stern channels. But listen, I'm friends with Howard, Beth, all of them. I'm friends with everybody there. I love them. It is what it is. Howard never fired me. Sirius never fired me. When they warned me that it was coming, because they loved me. Howard's like, listen, he called me one day from his limo with Ronnie. Listen, they want to move you to another channel. He's like, either do what they say or run for your life. And I was like, thanks, dude, later. And I was like, go on. I went back to CBS Sports Radio. I went back to do the CBS Sports Radio because I knew I could get another few years of my pension. When I'm done, like at 65 or whatever in a few years, they're going to pay me every month till I'm dead. And if I die, my wife gets half of it till she's dead. So it was a really good deal for me to do pussy radio, because CBS Sports Radio was the biggest pussy network. It was pussy radio. And now it's pussy part 2. They went to Westwood and they're doing young kids pussy radio, and no one listens. Well, the only one that they listen to is Rome. That's it.
I'm actually glad, and we'll end on this one because you brought up the new Westwood One. Have you listened to it? Thoughts on it?
I never listened to sports radio one day in my entire life. That is the truth. I've never listened to one show ever, including my broke ass show. I don't listen to shows because I was in it and I was an entertainer. And then if I sat around listening to everybody, then I'd be, I guess, worried about everybody and what they were saying or thinking. Like when I was on WFAN, Mike and Mad Dog used to bash me. So I just called Fat Cecil a horse fucker. That was the end of it. I was like, you want to fucking argue with me, you fat fuck? I go, I will ruin your life. Same thing with Dana White when I was on the Stern channels. He wanted to argue with me all day. And you cannot be the head of that company and spend all day talking about Scott Ferrall, but I can talk bad about you every fucking night until you want to fucking kill yourself. Like, you don't want to take me on in a uncensored arena of talking shit, but I love everyone that does it. I encourage everyone to do it. I want everyone to be successful. I want everyone to have a job. I think the business is terrible now. The money is even worse. I come from a golden age of making all kinds of money in radio, and they've ruined it. They have destroyed radio, where I wanted everyone to make a lot of money and be great on the radio. Every guy that worked for me, I want to be on air and successful and a talent and a star. But I never listened. When I was on WFAN during the holidays, I told the story. I've never listened to the station once ever. And that's the truth. I never listened. My mom was a pianist. She played in the Chicago Symphony. She said she never remembered how she did when she was in front of a packed house going 100 miles an hour playing Tchaikovsky. She said she just did it. And I kind of had the same thing. I would do shows like at Pat O'Brien's in New Orleans, people throwing bottles of beer at me. And when the show was over, my producers would carry me to the hotel because I was hammered. And I'd say, how was the show? Because I don't remember when I do it. Like, I do a million shows in my life, and I'm just good at doing it. And I don't like to judge others or to listen to others or listen to myself because it's a waste of fucking time. I want to be better every day doing the show and be great on the air every day. But if you sit around, like all these guys that run radio stations are like, all right, gentlemen, what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at last week's shows, and we're gonna break down last week's shows. And I want to see your monologues, and I want to see how you did in that third hour, and in that last quarter hour. It looks like your numbers are different. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Can you imagine working for some dildo that makes you go back and listen to yourself? Oh, all these coaches in radio, and I'm gonna teach you how to, do a show, and the first 30 seconds, the first 5 minutes, the first 15 minutes. Shut the fuck up. Like, I'm there to entertain people and for people to love it and be addicted to it. And I was their crack, and no one ever turned me off. I know people hate me and think I'm painful and my voice is painful and I'm irritating and I'm a dickhead and I show up. I know all these fucking things. My own family fucking hates me, but no one ever said I sucked. And the ones that did, they suck, because I don't listen to people that have nothing to do with it. Like, people are like, you don't matter. You don't even do anything. You don't even work. You know how much fucking money I made, dude?
A lot.
Like,
probably.
Listen, I never listened to anybody ever. And I think that's why I made it. If I would have listened to all those broke dick PDs, I used to have them give me shit everywhere I worked. And I used to look at them. I'd cross my eyes. I'd say, I think I'm going to poop my pants. I need to go to the toilet when I was in their offices. I hated all of them. The only guy I respected, two of them were Mark Chernoff and Eric Spitz. That's it. And I worked for 50 of them, and most of them are fucking losers. Listen, I'm just telling it like it is. If I had a bunch of guys that I was so respectful of, I would tell you, but I don't, because not one of them ever made me better. They just were a pain in my asshole.
No, I totally get that. And I worked in New York radio. I worked at 77 WABC for 4 years.
Great station. I was there when I used to go in there with Hannity at night, and I was doing ESPN with 1050 when it was AM, and I was 7 to midnight, and I was on with like Don LaGreca was doing it with me, the Devils play-by-play boy. So that's a great station, right? And Sid Rosenberg, who I did shows with, they put us together one Saturday night, and that was all it took to scare them away from the two of us together on the radio. We were a great show, and we would have made millions, and we would have killed everyone in the ratings. But they didn't have the balls to do it because they literally are all fucking morons. They fucking ruin everything, and they don't want to do anything that's outside the box that's crazy. Like, I tried to work with Sid and make it happen, and Sid's huge now, and he's doing great, and I'm happy for him. But can you imagine Sid Rosenberg and I doing a fucking 4-hour show together? The money that they would have fucking made. They're so stupid.
It would be so huge. And that's why they have, I think they have Comia on Sunday nights now, I think.
He's another one that Opie and Anthony was another Mel hire. and just great. When I did mornings and they did afternoons, that was the greatest radio station I was ever on. They fucked that up when, the station shut down when they had the Sex for Sam at the St. Patrick's Cathedral. The guy did his wife on the Day of Atonement in the ass in front of 200 parishioners. I thought it was really funny, and nobody else thought it was funny, and neither did the city of New York. And then they fired all of us. I was in bed when they fired me. I said, what did I do? And the guy goes, you're friends with him. Fuck off. And he hung up on me and fired me. And they owed me $250,000 at the time. And I never got a penny of it. In fact, I got a letter from them one day. They said, go ahead and sue us, CBS, see how you do.
Wow.
Damn.
Well, this was fun. I know you got to run because you said you had to go. But
this was like an orgasm.
Amazing. No, I enjoy it.
This was amazing.
Coming on.
I am sweating, so that's a good sign. You guys got me to I'm sweating. And then I still have to do a show tonight at 6:30. So I usually don't do it, but I know you guys are doing a really cool show, and I'm fans of what you're doing, and I support what you're doing. Keep doing your thing, and keep getting bigger and better, and don't listen to anybody. Don't let anybody tell you how to do what you guys are doing, because what you're doing is kick ass. And you want to just promote your Prophet company one more time? Just it's Profitable, PROPHETABLE, profitable.tv. We got Ferrall and The Prophet podcast, Ferrall Unplugged. It's a really cool app. Those shows are free. The community's really cool. It's a lot like extra people, but they're all talking about betting. It's not about other shit. It's about betting and all the big games and how to, what they're playing, what they're betting, how they're betting. And it's just a great app. I've had it going for like 3.5 years. And, it was FerrallOnEvents.com before that. Now it's turned into this great app. I do it with my friend Mickey, the Prophet, Mickey Faust. He's a funny Jew. I love him. He's the best dude ever. He's funny as shit. And we have a blast. And we don't work for anyone. And for the first time in my career, after all these years, I'm fucking finally free of dorks and dickheads and losers. I just have nothing to do with it. And then this is the first Super Bowl I haven't been at in 30 years. I went to 30 straight years of Radio Row, and I've never been around so many fucking tools and losers in my life. It is an assembly of fucking assholes and idiots. And they give credentials to anyone. You could be a homeless bum with a fucking bottle of scotch and they'll give you a fucking table and a show. And it's embarrassing. It used to be real media, real credentialed media that covered the NFL. I've traveled with the Steelers every game for 3 years. I've covered the league for years and years. And now it's turned into a fucking wet, bloody abortion.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
But other than that, God bless.
Scott, thanks for
being on so much. We appreciate you, brother. Have a great rest of your day.
Be cool. Keep it up.
Okay.
Thank you much.